All right, so what we have here, guys, is my skil um, quarter-inch electric ratchet, and I was having an issue with where I would push the button and it would spin and stop, and then sometimes it wouldn't spin at all. And did a little researching around on the net. I found videos about taking them apart and replacing the batteries, but nothing really talking about the specific issue. So I decided to go ahead and make a video on what I found out with my unit once I took it apart. There is videos on how to take these things apart. It's pretty straightforward, but it's a I believe it's a I'm sorry, I can't think of the size of the 4 or 8 screws or whatever it is. 6 screws maybe? 2, 4, 6, yeah. Screws to take the body off, and it's a small one that I do have here, that it's 2 screws on the side collar that goes on the side here, and they're like the eyeglass deal. I use this set that I had for taking out the screws in like laptops. This came as like a 5-piece set, and one of these was the right size for this thing. So that is what I used to get the 2 side ones out. And then what I actually used to get the bolts out is these. I don't know what size this is though, guys. Is it on there? T10. T10. Look at that. So I took used the T10 and got the body housings out. And what I found out was my connector actually was separated from the battery, and it would have an intermittent connection. So I'm going to go ahead and solder this back on. I got my soldering iron heating up, and I've already tried it, by holding it on there and pushing the button, and it worked it perfect. I've had this thing over 10 years, and I heard people say that they've had theirs for about 15 and whatever years, and eventually they had to replace the batteries. So I would have put a new battery in it if I had one handy, since I got it outright. But it is these lithium batteries. But I'm okay with it. I mean, they're still working perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and put them back in and use them up. And then once I do have the issue with them, I'll go ahead and replace them. But I'll get the numbers off of them now. And I know they're high discharge batteries. So I'll go ahead and order those discharge batteries and get it, have them on hand. So when this thing does go, like most people, when these things break or they stop working, I toss them out, and I was getting ready to toss this thing out, but it just kept bugging me not to do it. So I said, let me go ahead and do it. And I started looking and seeing that people were actually repairing theirs, and they were saying the same thing I was saying, like it's such a great tool that it was worth it to them to take it apart and see what was going on with it. And that is true, because this thing has helped me out of a lot of situations over the years. And it's just a really great made tool, and they don't make these things like they used to. But this is a collar that goes on the end there, and I'll take a picture of it when I put it all back together. But it goes on the end. You actually gotta just slide it off. Mine was a little tight on, so I had to get some grips and grab the sides of it and kind of like tap it off to get it off. Sometimes they'll just come right off, but this one didn't do that, and I wasn't worried about the little bite marks in it, because I mean, this thing is old as all get out, so I'm not worried about it being pretty. And this is really not a big deal for me. But I use grips, and then I tap them off with a mallet to get it off. So that's it. I just wanted to share that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this soldered, and we'll be back. I have re-soldered it, connected everything back together, and working like perfect. All right, we all done with it. Finished product. Got it charging now, and it is coming back up to charge. We'll go ahead and reverse. Well, that's it. It was worth fixing the old tool. So we'll see how charge comes back up and see how long it charges. I haven't used this thing in probably 8 or 9 years actually. So yeah, I've probably had it a longer, because I said I had about 10, but I haven't used it in about 8 or 9 years. So, and it was given to me by a friend, and he had it for years. So I doubt if the batteries will ever change. So we'll see if the batteries come up and actually hold the charge. It appears to be holding right now, so we'll see. And if it doesn't, it's not going to cost me much to put new batteries in it. Considering how long I had it, I mean, they made a really good product when they made the Skil ratchet. I'm really impressed as to the quality of it. All right, well, I hope this helps somebody, and yeah, get out there and fix those tools. Repurpose.